Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the Sudoku gods have... I'm not sure whether they've smiled at me or frowned at me today. I'm going to try a puzzle called Picking Blackcurrants by Kaktuslav. Now, this puzzle has been recommended to us by Fool on Hill, who is a mean and brilliant solver. And I found it just before I turned on the webcam on Logic Masters Germany, and it doesn't have a rating yet. Now, the comments under the puzzle suggest it is a work of sublime brilliance, but very hard. So I don't know whether I'll be able to get through it. I'm starting this early enough that even if it's a very long video, I should have time, assuming we don't get a computer crash today. And it's got a weird rule. Basically, we've got to draw a path from one of these dots to the other one, but we're only allowed to go north, east, or diagonally southwest to do it. And there are some constraints that we're going to have to learn about. And Maverick, I mean, that has taken no time at all. How long? 1 minute 18 seconds for Maverick to buzz past my window. So sorry if there's a little bit of aeroplane noise in the background. What can you do? Now, anyway, what else can I tell you about before we read the rules? I've got a few birthdays to do today. I will mention that we've released the first solution video for this month's competition, which was this incredible 68 puzzle magnum opus from the Skunk Works. So if you did get stuck on any of the puzzles, you can now watch our attempt on how to do them. That's over on Patreon right now, as well as all sorts of extra other content as well. Stratford upon Avon, where Mark and I, it's less than 2 weeks away. We're going to be doing a live edition of Cracking the Cryptic on Sunday, the 2nd of November, as part of the Stratford upon Avon Literary Festival. So if there are a few tickets left now, they've somehow managed to find more space in the room we're going to be in, so it's sold out, but now they've released more. So if you do fancy coming along, we'd love to meet you, and I'll try and remember to put a link to that on the screen right now. We're probably going to be blueprinting again next Monday, so put that in your diary if you want to see our next attempt. I'm really excited about doing that, I have to say. After Monday night's shenanigans, I feel I know a bit more about the game, so fingers crossed for that. And apart from that, let's do the birthdays. Let me have a look. George, over there in Oxfordshire, it's your birthday today, and I'm delighted to hear that you're intending to have chocolate cake that's been properly iced. That, my friend, is a great thing. It's a great thing. 1-to-1 ratio, of course, between cake and icing. You can actually do away with the cake if you're very partial to icing. I do recommend that too. But George, I hope it's a great birthday, and thank you for liking the musical intros. Next, I think I've got a picture. Henry, you've turned 13 today. And I know this because your mama, Kat, Dad and brother Oliver wanted to wish you a happy birthday. They are all very proud of you. Your internal strength, your curiosity about all things space and maths related, and your gentleness with all creatures you meet. And they've missed you while you've been away, but there is a big chocolate cake waiting for you when you do get home. And I've got a picture. It's in the wrong place though. It was ever thus. There we go. There's Henry and his brother enjoying what looks like an ice cream, of which I also approve. Next birthday. I might mispronounce this one. Iselin, in Norway, I think. You've turned 36 today. And I know this because your friend Margaret, who is in Australia, wrote in to say, could we wish you a happy birthday? I know that you're a maths, philosophy and science teacher, and the two of you met in the pandemic through Dungeons and Dragons. That is fantastic. I could get very into Dungeons and Dragons. I never really got into it, which is something of a surprise, actually. It's a surprise to me. But I know the two of you, having met through Dungeons and Dragons online, you've visited each other in each of your countries, so to speak. That's great. And Iselin, I hope you have a great birthday today. And I hope the chocolate cake is very fine, obviously. And then finally, Sulaf. Sulaf, you've turned 17 today, and I know this because your brother Eamon wrote to us. I think last year, Eamon was trying to get you into Sudoku, but you were worried about whether your English was good enough to watch the videos. Well, now I am told your English is coming on amazingly, as is your wit and knowledge. And Sulaf, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a brilliant birthday today, and I hope the chocolate cake is really rather nice. That's all the news. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can do this puzzle. Picking Blackcurrants by Kaktuslav. The rules of this are very strange, and they are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Draw a directed path through the centres of some cells in the grid, starting in one blue circle and ending in the other. I've done that way. I don't know if it goes which way round it goes, so that was just me clicking in normal reading order. The path may move only orthogonally north, orthogonally east. Let me get a line drawing tool. So we can move orthogonally north, orthogonally east, or diagonally southwest. So those are the only movements we're allowed to make. And it may not visit any cell more than once. The path must function both as an entropic line and as a region sum line. I hope those things are going to be defined later on. Every black dot in the grid must be crossed by the path. No cell touching a white dot must be visited by the path. Okay, so that means you can't take the path in here or here. Okay. I was just thinking about that. I was wondering whether it could mean those as well, but it does say touching. Touched by a white dot. Yeah, okay. So I think it's only the ones that actually are touched by the dot. Okay. Entropic line. Hang on, let me delete my line here. Let's draw a line. Every set of 3 consecutive cells along the line must contain one low digit, a 1, 2 or 3, one middle digit, a 4, 5 or 6, and one high digit, a 7, 8 or 9. So let's actually draw this a bit further on. So imagine this was a 7, 8, 9. And this was a 1, 2, 3, and this was a 4, 5, 6. We would know what this digit was. Well, we wouldn't know exactly, but we would know that because this set of 3 cells has to have a high digit on it, that would have to be from the 7, 8, 9 set. So that's normally an important principle about entropic lines. And then I think the region sum line rule is normal. It says box borders divide the line. Let's draw a line connecting this up. Right, box borders divide the line into segments. So if this was the division, what we would do is we would divide the line into segments according to when the red line crossed box borders. Like that, I think. And all the segments have to have the same sum. So those 3 would add up to these 3, would add up to these 3, would add up to these 3, would add up to those 3, would add up to those 2. That is how region sum lines work. And there's one more rule. It says crop key dots. A white dot between 2 digits means they must be consecutive. A black dot between 2 digits means they must be in a ratio of 1 to 2. So one of the digits will be double the other is what that means. I might change that rule before, assuming this does become a video, just to make that clear. So if this cell was a 4, this cell here is either 8 because 8 is double 4, or it's 2 because 4 is double 2. I hope I said it right first time. Oh, I clicked, is it right? It says I meant to click delete. I clicked tick and it said no, the solution's wrong. So that is not the solution. Now, what else? Hang on, what does this say? One of the dots contains an inequality sign. Okay, so this thing, one of the dots contains an inequality sign pointing to the smaller digit. So this digit is bigger than this digit. That is a most peculiar thing. But it seems to be the end of the rules. I don't really know what we're going to find here, but do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, let me just revisit the rules. It said something about white dots, didn't it? It said no cell touched by a white dot is on the path. So we might as well just fill those in. So we can't go there. And it said something about black dots as well. Every black dot. I did say let's get cracking, didn't I? I hope I did. Gosh, it's so strange. I get lost in the puzzle to the point where I can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. No, I hope I said do have a go. The way to play is to click link under the video as usual. Now I get to play Let's Get Cracking. But if I didn't, I've said it twice, or I've said it once at least. Anyway, no, if I didn't, I've said it once, and if I did, I've said it twice, and you're all going to be very bored of me talking. Sorry. I got obsessed with trying to start the puzzle. I think every black dot must be crossed by the path. Yeah. Okay. So what that means is that the path. Yeah, I can't. No, because the path goes through the centres of cells. So the only way you can cross the black dot is with a northern movement, I think. Because the path is only allowed to go north, east, or southwest. This is a weird rule. And okay, so the path direction. So does this just go there? Is that what that means? So the path, how could the path... Oh, hang on. Let me just mull. I just want to think about this for a second. So the path has to be going north as it goes through this dotty thing. But it can't cross itself, can it? Is that actually true? I said that a bit glibly. If that's the path, if the path is going east to west, how would you cross yourself? You'd have to go... No, you can't cross... You can't... Well, you could do... You know, maybe you... Oh, no, because you can't visit a cell more than once, can you? No, so you can't cross yourself. You can't cross yourself. So, okay. So, what that means is... Ah, see, this is odd. Well, I think it means we have to do that, but I'm not certain actually. Is it possible? This is confusing me. This is confusing me. Something's going on about the path crossing itself. I can see that because I've got to join. I mean, there's going to be some line, isn't there? I suppose that's the... I know that's gone north through there. I know that's gone north through there. And there's going to be some line joining these two together. So there's... I mean, let's just... I suppose one problem is I don't know whether it's doing that. What would that imply? If it's done that, it's visited... Well, then this one would have to tie to that one, I think. I don't think you can get this round the side of this one, can you? Hang on, I'm being inarticulate and imprecise here because I haven't really understood the rules. I'm realizing I've got to go north, east, and south, west. So is it some sort of like matrix problem? Like, I mean, I'm going to say the wrong thing here mathematically, but you know, if this is 0, 0, which the thing is we're either going from here to there or from there to here, but we've got to sort of take, you know, a north step is that, an east step is that, and a southwest sort of goes -1, -1, if you see what I mean, into sort of vector language. Yeah, but hang on, let me just go back to it. So either this joins to that. If this joins to that, then what joins to this end? Because there would be a wall, this would have to join to that. So the question is, if this doesn't join to this, then this must join to that, mustn't it? Is that what we're saying? Because, I mean, there has to be a path. There's a path segment connecting these black dots. Yeah, this is the way to think about it. And it's either going to join, because we're going north here and north here, I'm either going to join that one to that one, in which case there is a great wall up here. I don't know what shape it has, but there's a great wall. And you can't obviously turn right there because you'd never get out again, so you have to turn left. And then you've got to decide in what direction is the path moving. And there's no way that this can connect to this, because to do that, how would you do that? You'd have to cut across the line that's going to connect this to this, because there's a wall here. So, I mean, even if you could sort of sneak through that gap, which you can't do, because you can't do whatever it would be, a southeast movement. So this would have to connect somehow to, yeah, okay, that would, and then that would have to connect there. So something like that, I think is not only possible, it might be actually forced. The other way is going to be if these two don't connect to each other. So you're going to effectively visit this one first, and then that one is going to have to connect to there. Now, I don't think that's... My gut reaction is that that's nonsense, but... No, hang on. This is horrible. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of the pink there. I know what I'm trying to do. So from here, to connect this to this, I could go east. I'm allowed to go east. I can't go north. I can't go southwest. I bump into myself, so I must go east again. Then I have to go southwest. Oh, I see. I could go east again, and then I could go southwest. Is it actually? It might actually be possible, you know. I'm not sure. Good grief. So actually, what might be possible here? If you do this, you're going to totally change the direction of everything, because you're going to go from here to that one, to this one, to there. So how, okay, maybe that's a better question then. How do you connect that to this? Is that possible? Okay, so something's going to come up here. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Yeah, so the only way you could connect this to this is if you can come through this cell. Because we're not going to be able to, because the only way we can go downwards at all in the puzzle is to go southwestwards. So there's no way you can traverse column 1. Because you have to, when you do go south, you have to also go west. So in getting this out, which would be required if this is going to connect to this, you're going to have to take some of those cells, and then you can't sort of sneak round the side here, is what I'm saying. So I think you've got to get to this cell, so which you can totally do. And then you'd have to go southwest again, because you can't go, if you're going south. And then you'd actually have a choice then. This is weird. You could either go there, and do a little rinky-dinking, or you could do that, I think. Okay. So which of these is... Good grief, I don't know. I mean, this particular arrangement won't work. Ah, that's it. Right. No, right, I can rule this out, actually. It's really complicated. Okay, so my argument is going to go like this. If I am joining this cell to this cell in the path in some way, then I maintain I have to join this to this and this to this in some way. Now, because I can't come down column 1 in making this green segment that I'm going to build, I have to go through that cell in going from here to here. Now, the only way I think of doing that is going to be to go through this cell. And because I'm going southwest to do that, and I can't go north. That's not going to achieve my objective of getting to this cell. I can't go east, so I have to go southwest again. Now, what that does is it puts a 1-cell segment on the path going from here to here. This will be a 1-cell segment. Its maximum value will therefore be 9. Now, this certainly doesn't work with this pattern. If I do turn right here, it's not going to work. And I think what I'm going to have to justify is whether I can possibly turn left. I don't think I can turn left, but it's really complicated to be sure about this. So if I do turn east, I can't go north, I can't go southwest, so I have to go east again. And that's enough to break, because now I've got 4 cells of segment here, the minimum value of which, I haven't actually even thought about this, but there's an entropy point as well, but forget the entropy point. Let's make those digits 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're going to add up to at least 10 on this segment, and the segment's not finished yet because it's there. And that cannot be a 10, so it doesn't work. So the only way this works is if I actually turn... Oh, I can't. No, that's a westward. I can't go west. I'm not allowed to. Okay, so I'd have to go south. I'd have to go southwest. But then how did I... But then I'm going to connect this up And how did I get to that cell? The path would have had to cross itself. Fine. So that's impossible. It doesn't work. Right. Oh, goodness me. That is not easy at all. So that means, well, what does it mean? It means that we're not connecting that to that. Let's reinstate our northward movements. So what we're actually doing is connecting this to this. That is a connection we have to build in the puzzle, which is going to create a wall, and therefore the question is, how do you get to this cell? And the only way I'm going to say is this one just going straight across the grid. And I'm just going to give that a moment or two's thought. There is no other way. There is no other way. You can't get this to there. You can't do it without chopping across this thing. There's no way. So I think it's fairly once we've reached this conclusion about how we're going to connect the two red strands together, I think we just have to go east. Yeah, because we're not allowed to go southeast, so we can't do that shuffle. We've got to do that. Then we're going to build this. So this is going to connect to this somehow. And now, because we've got effectively a wall in doing this, this is going to have to go... this has to go southwest then. It has to. Because otherwise it's going to go there and it's going to be isolated. It's never going to be able to get out. Because remember, we're going to build a segment somehow that connects these up. So we'd cross ourselves if we get this out. So hang on, it doesn't go west, it goes southwest. Right, but hang on. Hang on. Now can I run my region sum line logic in the other direction? Because this cell... If we continued going southwest, that would be a 1-cell segment, and that's at least a 4-cell segment. So we can't go southwest from there, and we can't go east, so we've got to go north. And now we either go north, we can't go east, or we go south west again. And somehow or other, what we're going to do is we're going to try and connect this to that, aren't we? Actually, now I'm worried about colouring, because I'm also going to have to, at some point, decide how this entropic line moves. I think I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to remember that I have to connect these up. Now... Okay, so the way that this is going to connect to that is not going... It can't come through this cell for the same reason that we found it didn't work with the thing we were just looking at. Because if you're coming downwards into this cell with the southeast path, you have to continue downwards, and that's going to create a 1-cell segment. So the path that this takes to get to here is somewhere over here. Now, well, it must take that cell. It must do. Because how do you get into... Yeah, that is true. You can get to this cell. But if your objective in getting to this cell is to get to that cell, you've got no move that's valid from there. You can go north, that takes you in the wrong direction. You can go east. Oh, hang on. No, I'm wrong, aren't I? Oh, Bobbins face. This is really confusing. Oh, so I don't know then. I don't know. What? How do you do this? So... Okay, so maybe a better question then is, what's the first move from here? Does that have to be north? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. This is the most weird puzzle. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that a black cell. I don't think you can go in there. That's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and parcel off the grid into things that can't be reached. So the path... Okay, so another point, which is obvious to all you guys, but I'm just starting to think about it this way, is the path actually starts here, doesn't it? Because it starts here, it goes north here, it does some wiggling around, it goes north here, it's here, and then it's going to be travelling broadly in a southwesterly direction, going down to Cornwall, down here. Now, therefore, it can't ever go here, because if it did get to this cell, it's only allowed to go south and west in going south, and so it can't traverse that. So this is all out of bounds. This is all nonsense. You can't get to that cell, because the only move you'd have in that cell, or how would you ever get to this cell? That's a good question. Well, you can't from here, because you can only go north, east, or southwest. Now, unfortunately, could you? Well, you could make that move. I don't know how you get to that square. Oh no, you can. You could by going southwest twice and then up. Oh, but then you'd never escape from that cell. So I don't think you can get into that cell either. Because the only way of getting to that would be with a northerly stripe. But this cell, well, I tell you what, that cell's not on the path, because if it was, it would be a one cell thingy. So that's not on the path. So now, good grief. Okay. I do not know. This is a weird puzzle. What's the minimum value of this segment? Okay. It's a 4-cell segment. So assuming we go out of the box, then we could, if this was a low digit, that could be a low digit. So they could be 1 and 2, couldn't they? Oh, okay. The black dot here can't be a 1-2 pair, because they would be of the same entropy in sequential cells. So that's not going to work. So the lowest the black dot can be is a 2-4 pair. They are of different entropy. So you could go 2-4. A high digit here is a 7. That's the lowest that could be. So I'm on 13, and then that could be a 1. 14. So 14, let's write it there. 14 is the minimum segment size. Now, that's fine. So I think you can have a 2-cell segment. It's quite difficult to have a 2-cell segment. Oh, but you can't. Oh, hang on. Now, this is important. I was about to say, so you can have a 2-cell segment size. And you can. But you can't on a black dot. Because the minimum size of the maximum size of a black dot is a 4-8 pair. 4 and 8 sum to 12. So hang on. So now I've got a different problem. So in making my journey from here to here, that is not a movement. I can't have done that, because then I would create a 2-cell segment on the black dot, the maximum value which is 12, but I know 14 is the minimum segment size, so I don't do that. So I've arrived in this cell. So I must have arrived in this cell by making a southwest movement, but now okay, so now, well, now what? Well, now, I don't know. Well, now I've got a minimum of a 4-cell segment here. No, that's not even. That's not. Hang on. This is not true. How have I got to this cell? Okay, that is actually a difficult question. It's not a straightforward question because I think, and this might be rubbish, but I think I could have done that. North, 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 south, west. That's okay, isn't it? I mean, it would make this segment enormous. It would be, hang on, let me just work that out. It would be a 6-cell segment. So in an ordinary world, that could sum to 21 if those digits could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But here they couldn't be. Because but if you get a 6-cell segment, you're going to have 3 of each entropy, or you're going to have 2 of each entropy, and so you're going to have a minimum of 1 plus 2 for the low entropy, that's 3, 4 and 5 for the middle entropy, so that's 12, and 7 and 8 for another 15, so 27 would be the minimum sum of a segment. Now, I don't know whether that's okay or not. It might be fine, because I mean this is going off a wandering, isn't it? It could go up here and have quite a few cells on it. Okay, but how? Okay, so we either did that. Is there a shorter way? Can we just do that? Can we just do that, for example? Or could we have done? Oh no, hang on. It's you have to be very careful, because I just did that. That's not a valid movement. That's an eastward movement, but the path's not going in that direction. The path is going from here to here. So that would be a west movement, which is illegal. I can only get to this cell by a north movement or a southwest movement. But I could have got there from a northerly movement. So I think, okay, so this is a minimum of 4 cells, but could be 6 cells. It's one of those two. It's one of those two. Because if I get to this, if I'm in this cell, how did I get to this cell? I could have gone north. I couldn't have gone east. And okay, I could have gone, yeah, I could have gone southwest. But again, that's going to make that a 6-cell segment. Right. So this is either, I'm going to put it in the corner. It's a 4 or a 6. That is the length of that segment. This is a 4 or a 5. And can I make a massive segment down there? So we're going on a journey from here to here. So I have to, so to get from, yeah, okay, this is fine, this is fine. So I can't, in order to get into one of these cells, how do I ever do that with the rules of this puzzle? I must, because I'm only allowed to make northerly, easterly or southwesterly movements, I must make a southwesterly movement, and I must do that. Okay. So I'm then here, but I'm only allowed to go north, won't help me. Southwest is illegal, I must go east. And now I must go southwest. And now I must go east. That's weird. Okay, so that's been available for ages. I just haven't noticed that. So that is a 4-cell segment, which corresponds with what we were finding up here. Okay, so this is definitive, though. This is an actual 4-cell segment. The maximum size of which is going to be, if these are of the same high entropy, and they are high. So they could be 9, 8, 17. And then we could have a 6 for 23 and a 3 for 26. So 26 is the maximum. Let's put that there. So 26 is the maximum. Was this the minimum? That was the minimum based off this, wasn't it? 26. But this is very good, because now the way that you got to this segment, this spot here, was not from here, because that required this to be a 6-cell segment and 2 of each type of entropy digit. Even if I took the lowest ones, would be a 7 and 8, a 4 and a 5, and a 1 and a 2. And I think that was 27 when we did it last time, which is 1 more than 26. There is a knowledge bomb. So we do not. So this is out of bounds. That is out of bounds. And how did we get to this cell? We could have gone north. We couldn't have got. Yeah, we must have gone north. And then we can't have done that wiggly, because that would be a 6-cell segment. So that is another 4-cell segment in here. We don't even need to say it. That's a 4-cell segment. Goodness only knows what this is. You see, I was about to say, well, we know this one must come from there, but that's not. It's not true. It's not true. If I went that way, and then I could have done this. This sort of zigzaggy movement is allowable. Well, it's an extraordinary puzzle, this. It's absolutely extraordinary. Okay. So by sort of doing zigzaggy wigwaggy, you can take quite a lot. You can take a 2 by 2. I'm wondering how easy it is for this to visit box 5. That feels very difficult for me. If it did, could it? How could it actually? How could it? Can it? Is it possible to get that into that cell? How would we do that, given we can only go... the only way of getting to this cell is going to be from this cell, because we're only allowed to... In going south, you can only go southwest. So even if I got to this cell, I could then only get to that cell. Right. And if I got to that cell, I could then go east. But then I would be trapped here. I could have no movement. So if I get to this cell... Yeah, because what we can't do is that, because that's going to create a 1-cell segment. So if we enter box 5, the only way of doing it is that movement. That's the only way. Well, actually, it's not the only way. The other way would be this movement. It's really confusing, but that's still broken, because then you'd have to do that, and that's a 1-cell segment still. So you go here, and how do you get out of box 5? Having taken at least 2 digits. You can't get out. It's impossible. You can't get out. Right. So this is... actually, I don't know. I don't dare do that, because I don't know whether this one is going into box 5. I do know that one doesn't connect to this one via box 5. So for those purposes, that movement is forced. Now, so then we ask, how did we get to that cell? We didn't get there with a northerly movement. We didn't get there with an easterly movement. So we did get there from a southwesterly movement, didn't we? The thing is, I'm not sure that's... Oh, okay, but that doesn't help me to know how it joins up, because it could do that, or it could do that. I still haven't understood this, have I? I sort of... I'm managing to make deductions, but I'm very conscious that my brain is resisting every deduction that the other side of my brain makes. Okay, or here's a deduction that might be valid. Right, that one has 5 in it, because I either go up there and down, so that's a 5-cell segment, or I go there and up, and that's a 5-cell segment, so that's a 5-cell segment. That's at least a 4. That is a 4. That one, we don't know where it goes. Actually, it might... Oh, hang on. And look at that. I did that movement. That's not valid. Because here, we're going from there to there. So we're going norths and easts, aren't we? We're not going southwests. That would be a northeast movement. I'm not allowed to do that from here. Okay, so how do I get from there to there? Is that optional? I don't know. I'm going in this direction. So in this cell, I know I'm not going east, because then I'm going to create a 1-cell segment. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going north, am I? So I must go south, west. Okay, but now I can see it's possible I go east and then southwest. Oh, no, it's the same. I could go southwest and east. Hang on, let me just think this through. Is that east, southwest? Or south? Yeah, okay, it's the same net movement, so I think both of those are valid. Right, and the number of segments, or the size of the segment here, is 3 cells. It's only 4 cells, right? That's a 4-cell segment. So it's 1 less than this one. It's the same as this one. I'm going to reinstate my 4 things. This is a mad puzzle. This is mad. Again, Kaktuslav, how did you come up with this? Were you out picking blackcurrants one day? You thought, I know. I've got an idea for the most impossible thing ever. So I could actually shade this now, couldn't I? I don't know if that's going to be valid. It might be. So let's pick some colours. What should we have? Yellow? Yellow, green and purple. So that is yellow. And then yellow goes to green. So one of these is purple. And then we go back to yellow again here. So then we go yellow, green. Then we go purple. Then we go yellow. Now what do we do there? We don't know again, do we? Because we're either going green, or going green in one of those. And then this one will be purple. And that one will be yellow again. And that must be green. And this must be purple now. So that's yellow. Then this one's going to be green again. sorry, I was just looking at something there, but I don't think I can do anything with it. That's purple now. And really, we'd love to know what this is, wouldn't we? There's... don't know how to do that. Let me just... the thing I was noticing is that that one is double yellow. That's double yellow, purple, green. And that's double green, yellow, purple. And they've got to add up to the same number, which is some number between 14 and 26. And where did the 26 come from? Was that the top value of this? 7... no, 9, 8... yeah, that's the top value. That's if we max this out. And what about that? Okay, if green was 8, so the maximum value of that is 12, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I'm going to think about that. I don't think I can get to 26 here, but that might be wrong, because that could be 4, 8, and then we could have a second high digit, which let's make that a 9. So I could go 4, 8, 9, and I've not put a low digit in, so I could put 3 in. That's 24, isn't it? Maximum. Yeah, I mean, the maximum value of that is going to be to have green, which is the repeated digit being the big digit. That way I can make those add up to 17. There's no way I can get anywhere near that. If I make that 8 and that 4 and that 6, I don't get anything like, I get 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. But if I make these 8 and 9, then I'm on 21 before I add this digit in, I think. I've got 8, 9, 4 here. And this could be 3. So 20, I think that's gone up or gone down to 24. Eight, 9, 4, 3. Yeah, 24. Oh, and if I do that, then this one, maybe they could be 6 and 5. 6, 5, 9, 3 is not enough to get to 24, is it? Oh, there's something there, isn't there? There's sort of a discrepancy between... you have to make a decision about yellow and green. And one of them obviously can't be high. So if we make this middly, that could be 6, that could be 5, that's 11. This could be 3 then, across the black dot, that's 14. And that could be 9 for 23, which is lower. But if we do make green high, there is no way to get this, which maxes out that, but you can't make the same value here, because these would be 5, 6. Green could be 9, that's 20, but this needs to be low, which is 3 at maximum. So I think I'm going to go down again. I think 23 is the maximum. So maybe the hard thing is to fit the 5-cell segment in. Now a 5-cell segment is going to have 2 of 2 different entropies. So if they were low entropies and middle entropies, you'd have a 1 and a 2, a 4 and a 5, so that's 12. Oh yeah, this is, well, hang on, this is going to hugely increase the minimum. This, what? Yeah, yeah. This is how to do it. Right, this is under much more pressure than I'd realised. Because even if I minimum, if I say that yellow and purple are low and middle entropies, and minimise them, I still get 12 from them, and I've still got a high digit to add in. So if that's 7, that's 19. 19 is the minimum. 19 to 23. So we're closing this gap. We're closing the gap. Maybe, okay, so maybe you can't have a high digit. If either yellow or purple were high, what would be the minimum for this? It'd be 15. You'd have, say, a 7-8 pair here, and then these could be low, so they would only add up to 3, 18. Oh, that's fine, isn't it? And then you could have a 4 for 22, which is fine. Oh, bother. Okay, so I can't conclude that green has to be high. Okay, it's not the white, it can't be the white dots, we don't know anything. I mean, white dots have to have an even and an odd digit on them, but at the moment we know almost nothing about parity in the puzzle. I've got a horrible feeling that somehow I'm meant to know how this moves. It's just, I mean, that is a horrendous thing to have to think about. How do we... I don't know. I think we could have got to this cell with an easterly movement or a northerly movement. We didn't get there from there. Those two are definitely out of bounds. These 3 are out of bounds. This is me in desperate mode, just marking things off that are out of bounds. That's out of bounds. There we go. We've distilled the problem. I don't think we've really helped ourselves, but maybe we have somehow. Okay, here is a question that might be valid. So one thing I wanted to do earlier was to make all of box 5 black in the sense of unvisitable, because I'd noticed that this couldn't connect to that through box 5. But I didn't do that because I was worried that this could connect to that through box 5. That, I'm not sure how easy that is. Here is the question. Yeah, this is important. This is important. Our minimum has gone up. It's gone up to 19. Why do I care about that? Well, I think that's going to make a 3-cell segment impossible. Because a 3-cell segment, take the top value from each entropy, 3, 6, 9, that's 18. That's not enough. That is not enough. So every segment in the puzzle is now not 2 or even 3 cells large. It's at least 4 cells large. Now, how do you do that here? The only way of doing a 4-cell segment, at least here, is to incorporate, having gone into this box, you must incorporate a southwest movement. You must do. Because, I mean, you could take 3 cells just by doing that. Just so that segment, oh, whoopsie. So this segment would have been a 3-cell segment. That's no good. So I am going to have to go into either there or there. And the only way of going into either here or here is with a southwest movement. So let's do that. And then we could go north, north, east, east. But then how did you get to that cell? You couldn't have gone west. You couldn't have gone southwest, you'd have to have gone north, and that would be a 6-cell segment in box 5, which I don't like at all. But how do you avoid that? How do you avoid that? I can't make a southwest movement from this cell. So it has to be from this one. Because I've got to get out of the box having gone into it again. I can't have that being the only southwest movement. I'd never get out of the box. That must be the southwest movement. Then how did I arrive in this cell? From this direction. How did I arrive in this cell? It's not possible. It's not possible and to get out again. I mean, you could have done that, but you would never get out of box 5. So I think you've arrived in that cell via a northerly movement. You can't go northwest, so you've got to do that. Okay, I'm convinced by that. I don't think we go in there. So... right. What does that mean? It's going to be this. There's going to be some way of tying this up together. I suspect you can't go in there. That would be my guess. Oh no, hang on. How do we not? No, that's wrong. That's tangent. It's because I keep seeing this as a possibility, but it's not, is it? That's a northwest movement from here. Northeast movement. Yeah. So if I don't go east here, I go up. And what movement do I make there? I go east. So I actually do definitely go into box 9. This is definitely on the path. So, this is important. So can I just do my logic again? I can just do the logic I just did, can't I? If I do go up and into box 9 there, isn't that the same as we've just been looking at here? How do I do that and not take 6 cells? So from here, I can't go north. I have to do that. And now I can't do this because that's only a 3-cell segment. So I have to do that. I have to do that. I can't do a northeast movement. So I have to go east and up twice. Doesn't work. It's the same logic. It's the same logic we've just done. This is massive because that means I do that. I mean, I know it's not a huge advance in the world of Simon, but it does feel like a deduction that we just genuinely didn't have a moment ago. So now I've got to spend quite a bit of time here. Oh, but I can easily. Yeah, I can easily, can't I? Because I can spend 4 cells just by doing that or that. Yes, is that the point? Is that the point? I can't spend 3 cells. It's not enough. Can I ever make a southwest movement from box 9? No. No. Well, this is what we've just looked at. You take too many cells. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful logic. Because what that means is I know how many cells I spend in this box. I can't only spend 3 because I wouldn't get to 19. The only way of spending more than 4 gets me to ludicrous numbers that are too big. So I do spend 4. And how do I spend 4? Well, the answer is, as usual, I don't know. Because I could do that, or I could do that. But I do, or I could do that. So there's a whole raft of ways of doing it. But the point is I end up there, and I must go north from there, because I can't go east and I can't go south. West. And now I think there's some sort of principle going on, isn't there? Or maybe, actually, maybe I've got to be careful with assuming that. I was going to say, does that mean this has got 4 cells? Oh, wait, no, it might not actually, because now, this is really weird, but to get from there to there, because I have to shift columns to the left, I have to make a southwest movement using my vectors. So that feels like I'm going to have to take at least 5 in here. Okay. What's the movement from this cell is the simple question. It can't be back into the horrible box we've just been trying to deal with. So it's not that way. It's not east, so it must be north. And then, because I've got to make a southwest movement, I could do it there and then double north it. Or I could do it here and single north it. So I think that this one is 5 cells. Yeah, and that's brilliant. And you may say, no, it's not. You're an absolute fool. Well, both of those things might be true. But I think it is really important, because now surely I can keep my colouring going. Because I know that the move... Okay, what were the 2 choices? One went there. We could almost draw this in actually in 2 different colours. One does that, and one does that, and then north. So... Oh, okay. Right, sorry. So what that's telling us, which I hadn't appreciated, is that actually that is a definite movement of the path. Which is, that feels like a good result. So I can definitely colour this cell. That's a yellow. And then after yellow, we know we've got a green here or a green here. And then this is definitely on the path. And that's going to be a purple. And purple is followed by yellow. So this is now another green. Now, do we know anything about how the path moves through here? I don't think we do. I think there's so many options for the way that we're going to do that. But we still can count, can't we? Because effectively we can just... effectively that's green. We're only spending 4 cells in here. So there's going to be 2... There's going to be yellows and... Well, actually, let's do it. Let's do it carefully. There's going to be a purple in one of those as the next movement. And then a yellow in one of those, I think. But I think there's a variety of ways we could be moving here. I think there are 3 ways. But, okay, so we should do that. Because we don't know how that's going to work. But then we're on green here. And we know that after green we always go to purple. So this is purple, this is yellow, this is green again. And the path doesn't end on the colour it started on, it ends on purple. Began on yellow and ends on purple. Now, you might say, what does that mean? I tell you what that means. That means that purple is a middly digit. Because a black dot in an entropy puzzle. Yeah, if you think about the nature of a black dot, we know that the black dot pairs are 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. So they've always got a middly digit on it. So imagine that green was a middly digit. This would somehow connect a low digit and a high digit. Well, that's not possible. So the only way that this works is purple. Oh, this is not going to quite work. But oh, hang on. I need to get rid of this. Because that... I'm just going to remember 19 is the minimum, 23 is the maximum. But purple is definitely middly. And it's not, well, I was about to take 5 out of all of them. I can take 5 out of the black dot digits, because on a black dot, so one of these is 4, 8 then, because yellow and green are not the same colour. So one of these is a high digit, so it must be 8. 7 and 9 can never appear on black dots because half of them are non-integers. So either that's 8 or that's 8. And then the other digit is going to depend. If it's 6, it can be 3, and if it's 4, it could be 2. Wow. I mean, this is staggering. It's absolutely staggering. Okay, so we can now, that is broadly the path. We have broadly got the path, but we haven't got it quite. I'm looking at it. How do we know? No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so here, look, we've got double yellow, double purple, green, and here we've got double yellow, double purple, green. We know that the purple is middly. So if the yellow was high, how high would we go then? We'd get 15, 24, 25. 25 sounds too big to me. I deleted those numbers down there, but wasn't that too high? I thought we got as low as 23. So if yellow was high, let me just do that again. I've got 7 and 8 minimum, 4 and 5 minimum. So I'm on 24 before I add the green in for 25 minimum. Now where was the cap on? Where was the cap? Why did I think it was 23? I remember it was something to do with the juxtaposition of these, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. You have to make a decision about which colour is high. So if yellow is high, which was the conjecture here, then this could be double yellow. That could get to a very high total, but this can't be really. This would be a high 9. We could go 6 there, 15, 3 here, 18, 2 here, 20. So if yellow is high, this can't balance. If yellow is high, that was 25, wasn't it? And that can't be that big. So yellow is not high, so green is high. That's absolutely extraordinary. So that's 4. So now yellow is low. I don't know what this is. Obviously going to do other things to all of the maths, which we're going to have to work through. But that is now definitely low. Okay, green is high. Let's put that in everywhere. Just a sec. Let me just mull this over. That's not an 8 by Sudoku, of all things. That's about the first time I've said by Sudoku. Okay. So what's the sum of this one then? It depends. It's a minimum of 20. If it was 7, 8, 4, 1, it could be 20. And it's a maximum of 21. It's a maximum of 24, but I think 24 is too high for some reason. Is it that one that makes it too high? Hang on, what's this? That's it. That's it. Right. Okay, so now we're going to look at this one and we're going to max it out. Absolutely max it out, which I think is going to mean 9 here, 6 here, 15, and a 2, 3 pairs, 20. That's the most I can make that add up to. And what's the minimum I can make that add up to? It's 20. So it is 20. It's 20 is the number we're looking for. And the way you get 20 is you put 7 there and 1 here. And you make all of this maxed. So you make, oh, hang on, let's be careful. You make that 6, that 9. Now what has that done? That's going to have done things. I don't know what it's done, but it will have done things. Yeah, what it's done is just really rather lovely. Is now look at this box. Now this box's profile is the same as this box. It's double green, a purple, and a 1. And the only way you can make that only add up to 20 is if you minimise everything. So we've got to minimise the greens, we've got to minimise the yellow, and one of the... Oh, this is wrong, is it? No, because that one of these should be a 4, and I've got a 4 here. Oh, no, that 4 was just telling me the length of the segment. Oh, goodness. Okay, sorry. So that's fine. It's fine. It works. Okay, I've got to get rid of these now. I basically know, we know what the length of the segment is. So 20 is the number that we're always looking for. So how does that work here? Oh, I see. We're only going to have one green. Okay, what's the minimum? Oh, 19. 19's the minimum. So there's only 1 degree of freedom. Ah, that's interesting. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. I think. Hang on. Yeah, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. So, if we minimise, there are 5 digits on this segment, remember. If we minimise them all, we'd have 7 in green, 4, 5 in purple, and 1, 2 in yellow. And I think that's 19. I'm just going to do it. Yeah, it's 19. We know that we're heading for 20 total. So we can increase one of those digits by 1. So we can't miss out a 1 from yellow here, because that's going to take the minimum, which would have been a 1 and a 2 for 3, to a minimum of 2 plus 3, which is 5. That takes away too many degrees of freedom. So that is a 1. You can't have 6. It's not possible. And the digit here is going to be a 7 or an 8. Actually, yeah, that's what I've just done is wrong, isn't it? I've realised. No, I think it's wrong. You can have 6, but you must have 4. So again, it's comparing 4, 5, which is 9 and the minimum, with 6. Well, if there was no 4, you'd have 5 and 6, which is 11, which is 2 degrees of freedom gone. But you could have 6, 4 for 10. So I was wrong. But that does mean one of these is a 4. That is true. And one of these is 7 or 8, but I don't really have a good way of pencil marking that. Wow. Okay. Well, that's still good. We're still in the game. Now, can we do the... Yeah, we can do the same trick, can't we? Because didn't I work out that the combination here was the same as this one? This is double yellow, double purple, and green. So again, 1 degree of freedom. So there must be a... Oh, bobbins. There must be a 4 in one of those. There must be a 1 in one of those. That is good. So now 1 is in one of those 2 cells. 1 is in one of these 2 cells. This has got 7 or 8 on it. It's nearly interesting. There is an 8 in one of those cells, actually. So 8 in the middle row is in one of these 3 cells, look. Oh, yeah, and look here. This is another of these situations. So it's got to be 7 and 8. It's got to be, everything's got to be minimummed. So 7, 8, 1, 4, and I've got a 1 here. Is that valid? That is a valid pencil mark. Yeah. I need the 1. So actually I go up, and then I must go straight across. So this is a 4. These are not on the path anymore. This 4 is on the path. This is on the path. This is a 4 now. This is a 4. That's going to sort out my path over here. Look at this. We go there and there. It's an extraordinary puzzle, this. No, I don't want to say that. But I am modestly hopeful that we might be able to solve it one day. That being an 8 has taken 8 out of there and plonked it here. I don't think that means we know. Well, let's do the maths on that. I think it could have been an 8 if these are both minimumed. Yeah, that would work. 5, 13. These would be 2, 5 adding up to 7. That works. But if we go there for a 7, 7, 12, these would add up to 8. There's 2 ways to do that, so we don't know. Oh, nearly. I was going to say, where's 1 in this box? And the answer is I don't know. This is the only box I've not really worked out, isn't it, in terms of how the maths of it works. So we've got a minimum in purple of 9, a minimum here of 7 for 16. That's not enough, actually. We need a bit more because we need to get to 20. Maybe I've got, oh look, there's a 4 here. That's going to help. So that's a 6 and that's a 3. So these add up to 11. Well, that's quite helpful, isn't it? There's only one way to do that. That's got to be 4 and that's got to be 7, I think. Which means that's 4 by Sudoku. Oh, that looked weird putting it in as a black digit. That's a 4 by Sudoku. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but hopefully something. I'm looking around desperately trying to work out what to do. 3. Yeah. Okay, look here. Where's 3? And the answer is I don't know, but isn't it in one of those cells? So this is 3, this is 2. 2 is in one of these 3 cells. That's definitely not a 1, is it? 2 is in one of those cells, so it looks like that could be a 1-2 pair on that white dot. Do I know what that digit is, or that digit? Ah, the 8's doing the 8 and the 7 over here. Which is almost good, isn't it? It's not quite good enough, but... yeah, this white dot's a bit interesting now. It's got to have an even digit on it. It can't have 4 or 8. And the 2 or the 6 is going to be at the top end of it, up here. So this digit... this can't be 2, because this can't be a 1 or a 3. So that is a 6. It's got to go into 7 or 5. It's actually going to go into 7 for a very simple reason, which is I've got 2 7s there. So that's a 7 by Sudoku. So there's a 7 up here in one of these corners. These 3 digits are now known. They're 1, 5, 8. I think. And that isn't 1 and that isn't 8. So that means in row 9 we still need 2, 6 and 9. 2, 6 and 9. These have got to be a 3, 5 pair. Oh, we must be close now. Okay, let's try this white dot, because it hasn't got 4 or 6 on it. So it's either got 8 on it, which would have to be here for its even digit, or it's got 2 on it, which would have to be here. Now, if it's got 2 on it, it can't have 3 on it. So it would have to have a 1 on it. And if it's got 8 on it, it can't have 7 on it, so it would have to have a 9 on it. So this dot is very restricted. Oh, I see. No, that's not... I've got a 1-8 pair in this row anyway. It's just Sudoku, isn't it? These are 2, 5 and 9. So that's absolutely hopeless. Okay. What about that? Yeah, that's lovely. This one. This is where we look. This white dot, again, it needs an even digit, which can't be 2, 4, or 6. So it's got 8 on it, and it can't have 7 on it. So this is a 9-8 pair. And I know the order. 8, 9, 5 at the bottom of the grid. 1, 8. This digit's known. It's a 3, perhaps? Using that fair-weathered friend Sudoku. Okay, now what do I need for this box then? 2, 5, 9. 9 can be placed here. This is a 2, 5 pair. These digits are something. 1, 6, 7 maybe? Yeah, that's a 6, naked. Oh, look, the 1. They've got a 1. It's all done. It's all done. This is 2, 3, 5. The great thing is that the Sudoku's working as well. It gives me some confidence that we haven't completely botched the puzzle. I mean, it's harsh of me to use the we there. I mean, you guys definitely haven't botched the puzzle, but I would feel bad if I've botched it. What do we... So now... Is it something to do with... I don't know, I presume it's something to do with the nature of the neither of those digits can be a 9, so maybe it's 9 in this box. Nearly. No, and actually what I've just said is nonsense. One of those digits can be a 9, it's just not the one on the path. So what I just said was totally and utterly unforgivably awful, and ignore it. Oh, bobbins, I don't know what to do. What about... Oh, goodness. Oh, 7. I can do by Sudoku in that box. But that's no use. Oh, so 9 is in one of those 3 cells, so this isn't a 9. That's not a 9 by Sudoku. Maybe no, I'm not going to get rid of the black digits quite yet. So I know one of the... Oh, there. That's it. This cell can't be 7 or 8. So that can't be on the path. The path must go here. I don't know if that means we know what the digit is, but we certainly now know more than we did before. This digit's the black digit. This is a 7 or an 8. Oh, I don't believe it. So we don't know. That's a 6. So this is a 5. So now I've got 10 there. So I've got... Oh, that's still fine. These have to add up to 10 and they can do it either way round. Okay, that's not a 5. Have I got any more white dots to avail myself of? I don't know. I've got that. That is a white dot. It's just a weird inequality sign. I'm just going to check this row. I've got 2, 3, and 9 to place. Now, how many 9s have we got in the grid? Not many. I sort of want that to be a 9. How could we do that? Or is it something to do with this dot? 1, 2, or 8, 9? If it was 1, 2, it would be tremendously helpful. If it's 8, 9, it would still be modestly helpful. 7 is in one of 2 places. Yeah, okay, let's come back to this dot then. So what's going on? It's a white dot. And in fact, okay, here's something mildly interesting. It hasn't got 8 or 4 on it, so it has got 2 or 6 as its special digit, as its even digit. Now, if it's got 2 on it, 2 can't be the greater of the numbers, because this would be a 1, so the 2 would be on this side with a 3 here. which looks possible, or it's got 6 on it, which couldn't go with 7. So the 6 would have to be bigger than a 5. Okay. So where is 9 in column 8? I mean, that's a strange question. But I think it's there. I think it's the only place it can be. Is that going to help us? I don't know. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 9 to place 2. So there's a 9 in one of those 2 cells. Oh, here's a very useful question. I'm not sure I trust it, but look at this column. Where's 6? That's huge. Because that being 6, I think is going to help me to know what this line is. Because now I've definitely got 11 on it. So I need 9 more. Yeah, so if I came down for the 8, I couldn't have the right digit here. So I don't do that. I must go to the 7 and take a 2. Okay, so let's just tidy this up now. So what we're doing is that, I think, that can lose its green, if not its religion. Now, that's 12, that's 8. That works. Now, has that done anything? Yes, that 2 is giving me a 2 and a 5. And that's giving me a 5 here, look, so that's a 6. So this is a 3, that's a 5. This is a 2, this is a 6. So these digits here are 2, 3 and 9. And we know that isn't 9. So there's a 2, 3 pair in the row. This is 5. And we should be able to get that digit, shouldn't we? That's a 6 by Sudoku. Now, what do we do with this? I don't know yet, but it's very exciting. Now these squares are 3, 5, 9. This isn't. Oh, this is a naked single 3. We can get rid of some pencil marks. Now we know the contents of the middle row of the puzzle. Look, 6, 7 and 8. Yeah, we can put the 6 in. 6 in the middle of the grid, which is something of a surprise. 7, 8 pair in column thingy. These have got to be from 2, 5 and 9 to complete the column. That's not 2. It's 5, 9 pair now. So it's getting Sudoku-tastic, isn't it? Now what are these digits? 1 and 4. Yeah, we can do that. That's a 4, that's a 1. That's a 1, that's an 8. So that's a 2, that's a... No, oh, is that right? Well, it seems to be 5, 9, 2, 5, 9. This 2 means this is a 3. Now that's going to help us. So now we've got 12, 13. We need 7 up here, which does the 7 and the 8 in the middle column. This is a 9 by Sudoku. Now, what do we need here? We need 5 and something. 5 and 3. So 3 and 5 go in. In this column, we need an 8. Please work. Please work. This is a 2, 2, 3. That's lovely. Oh, no 3 in the corner. But I don't mind. I don't mind because I think I've finished it. Now, let's just mull this over for a moment. I mean, that cannot be... You can't luck into that, I'm going to claim. I'm just going to get rid of the... Oof, that just made my eyes go funny. Is it right? Yay! Fantastic. I only had 20 solves in a month. Absolutely bizarre puzzle. Brilliant, though. Kaktuslav picking blackcurrants. That was... What a... You see, what I have learned from solving that puzzle, which I actually already knew about Kaktuslav, is that he has got a very special brain that works in a completely different way to mine, because he must have been able to he must just understand how these vectors sort of constrain things, and I didn't really understand that. I had to really work. I found it very hard, and I kept making mistakes about which way round the loop, well, not the loop, but the path could go, and not realizing, you know, certain line segments were impossible because of the direction the path was moving. But anyway, I got there in the end. It's taken me a while, but anyway, let me know in the comments if anyone's still watching. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.